This Coast to Coast Entertainment Network program is brought to you by Beside Me Bracelets. Our bracelets are handmade for any occasion. Use the promo code Coast to Coast for 15% off. Visit their website at besideme.com. Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry. With 24-hour shopping available, use the code 160920 and show her some love, like she showed us. Reaper Apparel Company, a commitment to live your most authentic way every single day. Visit reaperapparelco.com for more information and a look at all of their apparel offerings. And by Good Day Embroidery, your local source for custom embroidery, screen printing, and more. Log on to gooddayembroidery.com for more information.
Hey everybody, welcome to On Deck here on Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. I am Crispy Bacon, here with James. How you doing this evening?
I'm good among, the March Madness. At least we got some baseball to talk about.
We do have baseball to talk about. I'm sure, I haven't checked, but I'm sure my bracket is busted. But it's all in fun. I'm also here with Big B. How you doing, Big B?
Doing good, yeah. March Madness is here. We all fill out that bracket. Try to talk trash, but we typically can't after the upsets. And I know we're a baseball show, but rest in peace, Mr. George Foreman, who passed away yesterday.
Yeah, it was kind of, I mean, to my knowledge, he was healthy and, he's up there in age, but he was healthy and doing stuff. So rest in peace, George Foreman. And we'll probably talk about him most likely on Entertainment Hour this coming week.
Yep.
Let's, talk about some news around MLB. So, James, what do you got?
Okay, so the Cleveland Guardians were busy today. They traded for Nolan Jones, an outfielder from the Rockies. I bet he's happy to get out of Colorado. And they traded him for a player to be named later. That can mean something, could not. And then Cleveland extended their number one starter, Tanner Bibee, he's a right-hander. He signed a $48 million 5-year contract with Cleveland, a deal that includes a team option for 2030 and could be worth $68 million over 6 seasons. Now, if you remember, guys, Cleveland doesn't really extend people unless they're going to be around a lot. Like they did that with Jose Ramirez, but that was pretty much it. Eventually, those young guys that they have will have to get extended or traded like they always do. But at least they got Bibee for some years to come. He will get his first opening day assignment on Thursday, like we mentioned, at Kansas City. Last season, he went 12-8 with a 3.47 ERA. He had 12 quality starts and 31 outings, 187 strikeouts in 173 and 2/3 innings. So he was very valuable for his time with Cleveland last year, and they brought him back and now don't have to worry about trading him. All right, so let's stay in the AL Central as the Royals acquired outfielder Mark Canha from the Milwaukee Brewers. The Royals will also send a player to be named later, or cash, for Mark Canha. He's 36 years of age. He's been on the move lately. Like the last 3 seasons, he's been on at least 5 teams that I know of. So that was interesting to hear his name get traded again. It seems like him and Hunter Renfroe get moved a lot. Some other news also coming out of spring training. Former slugger, you might know him very well, the former Ranger, Joey Gallo, says he's planning to become a pitcher. Gallo went 2 for 20 with the Chicago White Sox in spring training this year, but he was released from the White Sox to pursue being a pitcher, and he was released 6 days ago. He's always had a throwing arm. Remember, he used to throw out a lot of runners. He threw, I think, the fastest at 94 miles per hour. He was a two-way player in high school, but it seemed like his batting stats were just going way down and down. He hardly did anything with Washington last year. In spring training this year as well, the 31-year-old drew only one walk and had two singles, one for an RBI. That was his only two hits. So you knew that eventually, he would have to do something else. We talked maybe about, I think before, two pitchers that are two hitters that became pitchers but didn't really work out. One was Brett Phillips, and the other one is just leaving my mind. But Brett was pitching for the Yankees last year, and we'll see what happens with him. But Joey Gallo trying to become a pitcher after being a failed hitter after a while. Okay, we had two regular season games happen in Tokyo, like we were talking about before. The Dodgers and Cubs faced each other there, and it was kind of mirrored by the fans interfering with Dodger baseballs. There was one where former quarterback Rodney Peete caught a foul ball that Muncy was trying to get, but didn't, and Muncy kind of glared at him. And then Ohtani hit a blast of a home run at the Tokyo Dome, but it was interfered with, but they still called it a home run because of the trajectory of the ball. Anyway, the Dodgers won both games on Tuesday and Wednesday, 18th and 19th, 4-1 and 6-3. So the Dodgers are 2-0, and the Cubs are officially 0-2. Whatever you want to take out of that. Let's see.
People were joking.
So that fan that interfered was Rodney Peete.
Yeah, Rodney Peete. Remember him, former USC quarterback. He also bounced around so many teams. He started out with Detroit, Philadelphia, the Raiders for 1 year, I believe.
I think he was a Packer for a year. I could be wrong on that part, but really, yeah, I saw that, and I don't know. I mean, it's part of the game.
And it's in the crowd too. The ball, if it's in the crowd, it's fair play.
Yeah. I mean that was like two rows in too.
Right.
It wasn't right on the edge there. So
no. People are trying to compare it to the Bartman play, but that was not even close.
Oh no. Bart. I don't. Going back to that quick, I don't know if Moises Alou would have caught that ball. I think he jumped just a tad early. But again, the fans probably should have let that one play out though too. But again, how many chances do you get to catch a ball that's been in play in the World Series?
It's only natural reaction by the fan to react to the ball coming right at him. Or coming over him.
I do have get hit.
Yeah, you rather deflect it off of themselves.
But he caught it, right?
Yeah, he caught it, but then Muncy, it looked like was going to miss it anyway.
Oh, Pete caught it. Muncy missed it. Okay, all right.
Yeah, but Muncy was just pissed because he saw someone in a Dodger hat get in the way of trying to get an out.
Yeah.
That's I guess what was the issue about it. Let's see. The MLB event schedule for 2025. Like I mentioned, we had the two games at the Tokyo Dome. March 24th, the Red Sox will be playing the exhibition series. Don't know where, but March 24th and 25th. Estadio Mobile Super.
That sounds like Brazil.
All right, so that's tomorrow and Monday then.
Yeah.
No, tomorrow's the 23rd.
So Tuesday.
Oh, Monday, Tuesday. You're right, Chris. You're right.
Monday, Tuesday. Okay, July 15th will be, of course, the All-Star Game in Cobb County, Georgia for the Braves. Of course, opening day is 28th. Lou Gehrig Day is June 1st and 2nd. We have the Little League Classic August 17th at Bowman Field. 42 Day on April 15th, Roberto Clemente Day, September 15th, and I saved this one for last because it's going to be interesting to see. On August 2nd, the Reds and the Braves will be playing a Speedway Classic game at Bristol Speedway.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
And the seats are expensive. The sight lines are so far away. I'm just flabbergasted by the prices too. If you ever get to see the prices of the game, because it's a one-time event, they really gouge the prices up for that.
It wouldn't be a one-time event. It'll be a regular thing, probably.
I
Maybe
should
not every
say,
year, but
yeah, one time a year type of thing, or they might not even try to bring it back. But so those are some dates important for the season coming up.
They should do that Bristol ballpark game while the race is going on. Have the baseball game going on in the middle. No, I'm just
God, no.
no. And then
I don't know how people
wait,
can stand in that.
yeah. I forgot about that game. I kind of hope I remember to watch it and kind of see how the layout is and see how it looks. But yeah, I would bet it's going to be an expensive event.
Yeah, that's the prices are crazy. All right, some things I saw around baseball in general. Well, this is softball, but we had a home plate umpire named James Colzee III, but he is Florida A&M's head football coach. But he's umpiring a college game between Auburn and Mississippi State, and I thought that was interesting to note. We had a shortstop yesterday leave a Brewers game, Joey Ortiz, because he had to take a number 2. It wasn't an impaired injury. He just left the field because he had to take a 2. So that was interesting to note. We had a Yankee catcher named J.C. Escara go from an Uber driver and a substitute teacher to playing opening day for the New York Yankees. And he's 29 years of age.
Nice.
So it's a great thing to see there.
Twins have an Uber driver on their roster too.
It's funny how we'll have some in all 3 sports. We'll have some of those Uber drivers or truck drivers, delivery drivers, make it happen. Okay, opening day tickets. What team do you guys think have the highest opening day ticket? Median. So medium ticket price. What opening day game of the home opener for a team? Who has the highest price?
Dodgers.
What do you say, Chris?
Dodgers. If not the Yankees. But I'm going to go Dodgers.
They're number 2, the Dodgers, at $177. They will take on the Tigers. But number 1 is the Athletics at their minor league ballpark.
Uh-oh.
It's $181 to go watch the opening day game because the seats are closer to the ballpark. It's not as much, seats, so they have to jack up the price. But I just thought that was amazing. For you, Chris, $93 to see the opening day, $87 for the Twins. And guess what? The Angels, it's only $54, second to the last. Miami, the Marlins have the $44 for the median ticket to get into their opening day game.
Yeah.
It's amazing to see that, though. Oh, the Marlins had a practice squad idea to try to work in there, totally discrediting their minor league system. But MLB said, no, you can't do this. The Marlins just trying to cut corners, whomever their owner is. It just continues for them, and it's just stupid. Okay. And did you know Juan Soto has a younger brother, Elon Soto? He wears the same number 22 with the Nationals. And he might make the team, he might not this year, but it's just odd to see another Soto, number 22, playing for the Washington Nationals. I think next week I will bring up some new food pictures for each team and just go through them and check them out. Oh yeah, I'll end it with this. Bobby Jenks, the former White Sox closer about 20 years ago, he is going through a hard time. He lost his home in the recent LA fires, and he is in the final stages of his battle with stomach cancer.
Ooh.
So just a double horrible thing this year for Bobby Jenks. His wife and him agreed to do in-person signing in hope of raising money to cover the medical expenses. And people think this will be his last signing because of the final stage. Signing with Darren Dryford has already been listed. That's a former Dodger back in the day. And all profits will go to the Jenks. So people are asking the White Sox to also step up and donate some money as well.
And I should say they should, but I think just out of respect, they should. And some people and some teams I've heard do account for their older players that have been with in their organization, and there's some teams that don't. So, but I think MLB and the White Sox should kind of step up and help them out a little bit.
Yeah, because even after he passes, the family's going to be dealing with the bills. National television or streaming games came out, and through our teams, the Angels are only getting 3 games: 1 Apple TV, 2 FS1, 1 Roku game, and 1 FS1 game. No Fox games, no ESPN games. The Rangers are getting the number 13. They get 13 games. That's really good for them. The Twins are getting, let's see on here. Where the hell are they? Okay, they're also getting 13 games. So some interesting things there. Any of you want to comment on whatever I had there?
I know the White Sox have no televised games. I think they're one of 2 teams.
And the Athletics.
Yeah. Or the Athletics. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Florida or Miami has 1. Colorado has 2.
I'm guessing the Braves, the Yankees, Boston, they probably at the top of the list with the most games.
Top 5, the Dodgers have 21, 5 on ESPN. Mets have 20, the Padres have 19, the Yankees have 17 along with Philadelphia. The Braves have 16, the Cubs with 15, and there's just a lot of teams tied with 14 and 13. Yeah. And then the rest there. So remember, this will be the last year for ESPN having Sunday night baseball games or any type of, games during the week if they do that anymore. But just an odd time of year to put that out there before the season started. Remember, we talked about that last week.
I wonder how their coverage is going to be, being that this is their last year. I mean, are they going to give it the A effort, or are they going to kind of give it the, kind of just the C effort, and don't really care?
I would have gone out swinging, so to speak. That was a whistle, everything.
They will have opening day coverage. I think just 2 games. I know the Tigers and Dodgers, but I think there's a game before that. I want to say whoever the Yankees are playing will be on ESPN. But remember, they used to have games from 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. Pacific all the way to 10 p.m. Pacific. They used to have 5 opening day games or 4, and now they only have 2. Luckily, you have MLB Network stepping up and having probably 3 opening day games. Remember, it goes 2 days.
They can always count, or you used to be able to count the Cubs on WGN.
Yep.
The Braves on TBS.
what was weird is too, because I'm in Texas, and somehow I can't remember what cable provider we had WGN.
Oh yeah, that was everywhere. That was
Right.
WGN and TBS
Yeah.
were
Mhm.
if you had cable or DirecTV, Dish, it was a
Oh.
super. Those are super stations.
So let's go back to the interesting story about Joey Gallo wanting to become a pitcher. I mean, I know they said that the last time it happened was a couple of years ago, I think. But you guys remember Rick Ankiel, right?
Yeah.
He went from a pitcher to a hitter, and I think he had a pretty good career, close to MVP one year, I think. So how do we think Joey Gallo is going to do as a pitcher? I mean,
I don't think not as well at first, but
He
I
can
mean,
throw fast, but I'm worried about location.
yeah, that's what I think. I think if anything, he's going to be a setup guy, relief guy. I don't think he's going to be a starter.
Mm.
I mean, again, like James, you said. I mean, he used to throw people left and right out in the outfield, but I just wonder what happened to his hitting. I mean, what is it, a mind thing? I mean, was it just not practicing? I mean, because he was supposed to be a dangerous hitter when he first came out, and then he kind of just, like you said, just kind of went away.
Yeah, all those years with the Rangers, he was hitting outdoors, so he's really lifting off on swings. I think the league just finally figured out how to pitch him, and those breaking balls that go down, he could never get a hold of like he used to.
Yeah.
I think the same thing is kind of happening with Cody Bellinger, but not as crazy. But with Joey Gallo, he was an all or nothing hitter.
Yep.
It was either a home run, a strikeout, or a double or single, but it was like all or nothing. It was almost like, just imagine if Shohei did that. Just the way he's violently swings, Joey Gallo just has a long swing, and it just made it easier for pitchers and everyone else to figure out how to get him out. And I think that was the issue with Joey Gallo. Now, Brandon, you mentioned there was this Seattle Mariner pitcher, and I looked him up. His name is Jurrangelo Centra, and he hits 92 miles per hour on his fastball, and he throws with both arms. So he's been pitching this spring training mostly right hand, but he's been working on the left hand as well. I remember he was drafted this last draft, and I totally forgot all about him.
Yeah, no, I've been seeing a lot of video on him. People are, I see it on my social media pages. And I was reading up on him a little bit, and he does, as many pitches as he throws right-handed, he'll throw left or vice versa. So it'll be interesting to see how well he does. I was reading that the Mariners said that they're, just going to take it slow with him, but MLB has him projected to move up in the ranks really quick with that fastball. But as a hitter, or even as a team going up against him, I mean, it's going to be kind of hard to kind of judge on, okay, well, if he throws right-handed, these are going to be his pitches you're going to see, or, it probably make it hard on the hitter to kind of gauge on, how to bat against him or what he's going to throw, because he can throw left or right. But I do believe MLB has a rule, or maybe the minor league, that during the at-bat, you can't switch hands. So once you decide you're throwing left, you're throwing left. So it'll be interesting to see that young kid come up to the minors for the Mariners and see what happens.
Yeah, he's only 21 years old.
Yep.
He threw one pitch at 92, and then the next pitch at 95 miles per hour. So he was pretty electric during the breakout time for spring training. He was up to 98.9 from the right side. He's just, like you said, he's going to go back and forth, trying not to blow out both elbows. He was drafted 15th overall last year, pitched for Mississippi State, and he was a native of the Netherlands.
Yep.
And went to high school in Florida. So Maybe we'll get to know him. The thing is, the Mariners are already on the major league staff. They have a lot of starters already.
Yeah,
So if there's a chance, if a bullpen
they can take
piece
their
gets
time with
hurt,
them.
yeah, they don't have to rush him out.
Yeah,
No doubt about it.
and the one thing is pitchers are one of the most superstitious pitchers or players around. So let's say he's floating with the no hitter. I mean, throwing right-handed, does he flip to the left to break it up, or does he go with the right hand? I mean, that stuff's gonna be kind of interesting to see how he plays that out.
Before the at bat,
He has to make a
he'll have to
decision.
switch. Yeah, and then
But
if
I'm
you
saying
have
if
switch
you
hitter, that's
pitch
gonna
a
be fun.
jab throwing right-handed, I mean, you don't flip over to left during the
No.
middle of your jab. I mean, you got to go with the right hand. I mean,
The Athletics had a pitcher like that.
yeah, there's a couple.
Like 5 or 6, 7 years ago. I forget his name, but he was used sparingly, and he
Yeah,
ended up just doing something else. But yeah, I'll be looking out for him in the minors. I'll see what he does. Maybe he gets up to Tacoma this year. They're the AAA team up there with the Rainers. We'll see.
Right. And did you guys see the Astros new City Connect uniform?
I just saw the top of the uniform. I was
no,
wondering
not them.
if it looks
There we
like the '90s uniform.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay, there it is. Yeah, okay, kind of looks like that. But what they did, everybody's got a white hat. It seems like with the color around it now.
Yeah.
But the Astros, you see where it says Stros, that goes from like the '90s uniform, and then they kind of did like a space kind of numeral font.
Yeah.
It's fine. I like the old one better, but at least we have one down. I think there's 7 more to go. That has a change with their City
And the
Connects this year.
And the Rangers are going to change theirs next year.
Yeah, and the Angels will as well. The
Which I'm okay
Twins,
for the Rangers changing.
yeah, the Twins one I just don't like because maybe it's the state flag colors. I want to say, Bigby.
Oh, that NATO, that like dark bluish,
Yeah,
black
yellow.
stuff. Yeah, I
It's
don't care for that one. To me, I mean, I'm kind of biased because I like the baby blue colors, but I think the Twins should have baby blue in their uniforms more often than that navy blue and red. I don't know,
definitely.
but I can still tell you, Boston's grandma marathon jerseys are still the ugliest things around.
For baseball, yeah.
Yeah.
The Eagles ones are for football are pretty ugly. The yellow and bluish ones.
The 1933 ones
Yeah.
back in like 2008. Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't you want to cover pitchers? Like the starting pitchers?
Oh yeah, if you could bring that up for opening day, both the 27th and 28th, they're gonna just split both games with both. Oh, by the way, some breaking news: the Blue Jays and catcher Alejandro Kirk agreed to a 5-year, $58 million extension, and it includes no deferrals. But he hit 36 home runs in 5 seasons with Toronto. He's like kind of like a borderline all-star catcher with Toronto. All right, so opening day, the starters.
What time zones are these games in? Because you got
Eastern.
East
Oh,
Coast
Eastern time zone? Okay. I was just like, God, Cubs and Athletics are playing at 10 o'clock at night?
out in Arizona.
Yeah.
This is the first page.
I can do first page.
Yeah,
I
do
can't
first page
remember.
because it would be the first time. So yeah, the Brewers will play the Yankees. Freddie Peralta, who started yesterday for the Brewers in spring training, will go. Rodon did as well. That's the first ESPN game at noon my time. Then you have Zach Eflin. Remember, I came on with the story, Chris, last show, where his family called him and said, "Yeah, you're going to be the opening day starter for the Birds." Jose Barrios, the former Twin starter, will go for Toronto. Garrett Crochet comes over from the other Sox. He'll make the opening day start against the former Red Sox, Nathan Eovaldi, for your Texas Rangers, Chris. Zach
It is
Wheeler will go for the Phillies in Washington to face Mackenzie Gore. Tanner Beebe, who just got the extension, will face Cole Reagans, who also got paid in Kansas City. Clay Holmes came over from the Yankees. He will be the opening day starter for the Mets. Will take on Framber Valdez, who may be in trade talks this year for the Astros as his contract is coming up. That game will be at the newly named Daikin Field in Houston, Texas. Logan Webb will go for the Giants in Cincinnati. They will face Hunter Green. And remember, the Reds, because they were the first MLB team ever, National League team ever, they only start at home to start a season. They're the only ones that can do that.
No, really? I didn't know that.
Since they've been around, since 1876, so they have the right to never start on the road. Near me, Chris Sale, remember he was the Renaissance pitcher of last season, will go for the Atlanta Braves. And then Michael King will go for the Padres here in San Diego County. Those are all two noon games, and then one for me over here. And then Kikuchi coming from the Astros. Before that, the Blue Jays will go for the Angels, facing the White Sox and Sean Burke. The White Sox will have a lot of players this year that you won't know. That's one thing. They signed about 27 free agents, and a lot of them were just no names. They're putting the team together like the Major League, the first movie, of course. Yeah, the movie where they're just signing guys from wherever. Hey, you want to come play? Paul Skeens, the Cy Young Award winner in the National League, will go for Pittsburgh as they take on the Marlins in Miami, and Sandy Alcantara will go.
That game could be a good pitching duel right there.
And Sandy, of course, is in all the trade rumors, especially to the Yankees if they could free up some money.
Yeah.
Pablo Lopez will be going for your Twins, Big B, in St. Louis to face the Cardinals. Yeah. And Sonny Gray will go, the former Twin, will go for the Cardinals. The other interleague matchup will be Tyreek Skubal, who had a great year last season. I think he won the Cy Young in the AL, will go for Detroit as they face the world champion Los Angeles Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who already has one win under his belt, I believe, will go for the Dodgers. And then another Japanese pitcher will go for the Cubs, Shota Imanyama. He will go for the Cubs in Arizona to face Zach Gallen. Imanyama was going good for 4 innings. He had no hit 4 innings in Japan before he was brought out because of a pitch count. And then the Dodgers exposed him in that first game. Luis Severino will go for the Athletics as they take on the Mariners in Seattle. Logan Gilbert will go for the Mariners. And then to finish it all off, the next day, I believe, one game, and this has become a story here with one of the pitchers. Kyle Freeland will go for the Colorado Rockies. Now, it says Shane McClanahan will go for the Tampa Bay Rays, but the issue is today he had a injury while he was pitching today, and there was an update on his shoulder or triceps discomfort. They are imaging that, and the latest result is just that, where he has the triceps discomfort, but more news will come out. So it's likely they won't be going with McClanahan for the Rays. Now, that game, of course, will be played at Steinbrenner Field in Tampa, the Yankees' single A stadium, spring training home. And those prices, like I mentioned, are just crazy for that one.
I'm going to go back to the Dodgers real quick because Casey King.
Oh,
Casey King has something on that.
Really?
According to Dodgers, Blake Snell, or according to Dodgers, Blake Snell is getting the opening day start, and not Yamamoto, from what I heard.
All right, we'll keep a note on that.
We'll see. I mean,
probably because he already started a game in Tokyo.
Yeah.
So maybe that. Oh, by the way, Casey mentions the Twins need to go back to the powder blue permanently.
Yes.
Or just wear it on a Saturday night. I think they do.
Now they wear, I think either Saturday or Sunday, one of the 2 days, they wear the all red jerseys with the red hat.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're actually pretty cool looking. But
I was thinking of the Rangers. Yeah, the Rangers have the baby blues on certain days.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. There's a couple of notes on pitchers, I should say. Talking about the Dodgers, there were news today that Jose Urias, the free agent pitcher, was suspended half of this season, I believe, for violating the MLB's joint domestic violence policy. He got in trouble once again with that. Legal troubles have really hit him. He was previously suspended for 20 games in 2019. He was arrested on suspicion of domestic battery. He's 28 years of age. He will be reinstated July 17th, 2025. But the issue is, will any teams go after him? It's almost like Trevor Bauer, the former Dodger, when any teams go after him, and we haven't seen that yet. He was a good pitcher with the Dodgers, but he's had spousal abuse issues and much, much more off the field that has really hurt his career.
Yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of teams are just wising up and don't want the drama in the clubhouse.
Right.
I can see that, yeah. What else?
Oh, I have some milestones that could possibly be done in 2024. Shohei Ohtani could get three straight MVPs. Remember, in 23, he had one with the Angels, last year with the Dodgers, and he's slated to win another one, hitting and pitching this year for Los Angeles. Luis Arraez is trying for 4 straight batting titles, and he did it with 3 different teams the last 3 years.
Yep.
Miami, Minnesota, and San Diego last season. That would be an amazing feat to do that. 5 players are trying for 300 home runs. Kyle Schwarber of the Phillies, Anaheim Suarez of Arizona, you bet. Marcel Osuna for the Braves, Salvador Perez of the Royals, and Mookie Betts for the Dodgers. So all those guys are trying to get 300 home runs.
Wow.
Mike Trout.
I didn't really realize Mookie Betts was close to 300 home runs.
It's coming up fast for him. Mike Trout is trying for 400 home runs. Without the injuries, he'd be close to 500 right now. He only played 29 games last year. He needs 22 home runs to get to 400, but it all comes down to health for him. There is 2 players that are trying to get 1,000 RBIs. It's Bryce Harper of Philadelphia and Mike Trout of the Angels. Manny Machado is the only one that's close enough to try to get 2,000 hits. Just think about that. There's no one close in our lifetime right now that's going to get 300. It was Miguel Cabrera, I think, the last one to have 300, or was it
3,000?
Yeah, 3,000 hits. It was. Yeah, I think it was. I think it was Cabrera. So you kind of cherish that for what it is. Terry Francona, the new manager of the Reds, is trying to get 2,000 managerial wins. He needs 50 there. And Clayton Kershaw, who's been injured, but he is on the roster of Los Angeles, he's trying to get 3,000 strikeouts. He needs 32 more to become the 20th pitcher ever to get 3 Ks.
He'll get that.
Yeah, the only problem is he's been tortured by injury the last 2 seasons where he's missed.
I said that the last couple of years is I think the Dodgers should get with him and be like, hey, let's move you to the bullpen and see how you do and not start you, unless we need you. I think that's what he needs. I think he needs to go to the bullpen for a little bit.
I know last year they put him in late in the season, but he eventually got hurt again.
Yeah.
So it's just rough times for him.
How do you think? How do we think Ohtani will do, pitching wise?
My guess he'll be kind of rusty, of course, being out for more than a year of being a pitcher. The last time he pitched was, I think it was August of 23 with the Angels, and he left a game and he hasn't pitched ever since in a major league game. And he hasn't pitched in a spring training game this year as well, but he's done like the bullpen sessions away from everybody. So my guess would probably be like 10-6, 10-5, just because of the Dodger offense and the power that they have will win them some games. And if you're just trying to get him past 5 innings, this is the team to do it. Yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think you hit it, 10-5, 10-6. 10-4, somewhere around there, depending on how the rust comes off. I mean, like you said, James, he hasn't pitched since August of 23, besides some bullpen sessions and stuff. And I know there was rumors that they, were strong or considering putting him into the World Series, which I thought was foolish. But yeah, I mean, we'll see what he can do. I mean, it doesn't take away from his hitting. I mean, because, he put up monster numbers not pitching. So just think, could that be cut down if he's pitching and hitting at the same time?
Yeah, probably his hitting numbers will go down just a tad, I would say, because of the hitting. He might take some days off because of that as well.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, rest is good, but you want to start too. I feel like.
And he won't start it right away this season. It'll be like late April into May is when maybe he'll make his first.
Yeah, I would say you're probably going to see middle of May when he gets his first start.
Long ass season,
Unless there's an injury that happens, or maybe even a doubleheader in there where they might throw him in. But I would bet middle of May.
Right.
I agree. Any predictions for the season?
Well, you want to do like good and bad surprise teams in each league? Just throw a few out there. You want to start that, Big B?
Yeah, I think. I don't know if they'll be good or bad, but it'll be interesting to see how the Athletics and Rays do. I think that's going to be a story, not being at their home ballpark, one due to moving, the other due to weather. So I think a lot of people will be watching them and see how they do. Of course, Dodgers are probably going to have a good year like normal. I think if the Braves stays healthy, that will be a story to watch. I saw, James, I think you posted like the playoff predictions by somebody from MLB. The tiers.
The tier. Yeah, can you put that up, Chris?
I believe the Twins are not going to have that good of a season. They didn't go out in the offseason and sign anybody really. So it'll be interesting. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. Hopefully, when we're talking about this later on, that I eat my words. But
let me see if I can save that.
So, but I overall, God, it's tough. I really hope Baltimore keeps going the way they are. The Mets, I think, are always that team that everybody thinks is going to make the playoffs, but they don't, because they struggle. But yeah, I like that layout there. So I think they got it right with the teams that aren't like pretty much have no chance of making the playoffs. I think the Twins might be a little bit high. I think they probably be a tier down or two, just because they didn't do nothing in the off season.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, and the red, of course, are the 1, 2, 3s are the ones that'll make the playoffs,
Yeah,
and then 4th is kind of like on the edge, and 5 is below that. It feels like Milwaukee and Cleveland, yeah, they're on a step down. For me, though, I think the number 7 tier, they have a chance to move up to number 4, where they're cringe playoff teams.
Yep.
The Astros might be the surprise team to move down this year and not be as good because they lost a lot of good pieces in the offseason.
So you're saying the A's are in a good or not in a good spot, but
yeah, I think they're going to be better than the 7th tier. I think they're going to be in the 4th tier. Maybe Pittsburgh, if they make an acquisition at the trade deadline, maybe you put them in the 4. You move out the Rays, you move out the Giants, you move out the Reds, and sadly the Twins, and put those in.
Yeah.
I think the bottom says for itself. Yeah, the Angels and Cardinals. It's just funny. 20 years ago, I was hoping for an Angels-Cardinals World Series, and it never, ever happened. I think that would have been a tremendous World Series. Miami and Colorado and Chicago, of course, the White Sox, they're way down there. I think the Cubs can surprise some teams this year. Arizona will come back, just like Texas, in 2023 and make the playoffs. Red Sox, if they can make one other move, maybe they can be in tier 2, possibly. The Mets, you just never know. And they lost a lot of starting pitchers already this season, just like the Yankees did. I can see both taking a step back. And the Orioles, they're so young. They do have some postseason experience, but not too much. So I guess they're good where they are. But yeah, credit to Mike Petriello for this tier ranking from the preseason, because I was wondering if anyone had one out there. And of course, Los Angeles is all by themselves. We could do some MLB division predictions if you want to.
okay.
I just realized I don't have my playoff picks, but we could just say who will win the World Series, I guess. But if you have your playoff picks, you can do it as well. Chris, if you got yours, you can start.
My World Series picks.
Well, you could go division by division. Who will win?
I don't have mine right now.
Okay. What about you, Big B?
Yeah, I see the Orioles and Yanks battling for the East there. Probably both teams will get in. The Central's wide open. Maybe outside of the White Sox, I think anybody can win that division. Where Chris is at, I picked Oakland a couple years ago, or even last year, I think, to kind of be a surprise team. That's another division that's kind of wide open. Be a
surprise team. Oh yeah, they're going to be good.
Yeah, so out of that division, you can't go wrong with Texas, but I hope Oakland makes a run and gets into the playoffs. On the NL side, to be the man, you got to beat the man, and of course the Dodgers are the man right now, so kind of hope they falter, but they, again, just reloaded. As long as they stay healthy, they're going to be the cream of the crop over there. Cubs and Milwaukee always seem to have been battling it out the last couple of years on who wants to be first and second. And then, of course, you got the Braves that, as long as they stay healthy, Acuna comes back pretty decent. I think that team's going to be a force to be reckoned with. Right now, if I had to go World Series, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with something different. I'm gonna go Baltimore
Ooh,
versus the Brew Crew.
that would be great.
Yeah, we'll
That's a
go
good
that one. I mean, we'll see. I'll go the long shot of that one.
All right. Who wins and how many games?
Who? I always like to see them go 7, and I would definitely like to see Baltimore bring home the title.
Yeah, that'd be nice. They made
I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing the Brewers with Bob Uecker passing, pay homage to him and dedicate it to him. So, as long as I get a 7-game series between those two teams, I think that would be amazing.
That would be something. All right, for mine, going by division, I think Orioles get the AL East. Yankees are second. Red Sox are third. And then you have Rays and Jays to finish that division. The Tigers in the Central, I think, will win that. They made some moves, and they're so young, but they're so good. The Royals, I think, will win or be second. Guardians third. Twins in fourth. And the White Sox in last, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's crazy. I got the Central correct according to USA Today. I think this is from.
Yes, it is.
I can tell by the lettering. For me, the AL West, I have the Rangers in first, the Mariners in second, the Astros in third, the A's in fourth, and the Angels again in dead last. Yay. My wild cards are the Yankees, Royals, and Mariners. And then for the National League, for me, it's just like what it is in the East. Philly, Atlanta, the Mets, the Nats, and the Fish in last. And then, wow. Okay, no, it's not the same for me in the Central, but I have the Cubs surprising people, winning the Central. Brewers second, Reds third, Pirates fourth, and the Cardinals fifth. I'm hoping the Pirates can finish in third for once. We'll see. And then in the West, it's easy. Everybody's thinking the same. The Dodgers first, over 100 games, winning. Maybe the only team to win 100. The Diamondbacks second, San Diego in third, San Francisco in fourth, and Colorado again in horrible, horrible last place. The Braves, I'm going to go with the wild card. Diamondbacks, second wild card, and the Padres, the third wild card. My World Series pick, I have the Dodgers over the Rangers in 5 games. Casey King, he has his picks. The Dodgers in the West. The NL Central's wide open, but he's going with the Cubs just like I am. He is going opposite of me in the NL East with the Braves. The wild cards will be the Diamondbacks, the Padres, and the Mets. I was torn between the Mets and the Padres.
Yeah.
Right? Because like you mentioned, Big B, the Mets, even though they made the big splash with Soto and bringing back Alonso, the pitching really isn't good, and they've been known to like choke up some games. Except last year, they went pretty far.
You said the same thing about you can say the opposite about the Padres, where they got the pitching, but the hit is questionable. So
that happened last year against the Dodgers.
Exactly.
Those 2 games where they did not score.
Yeah.
American League, the Mariners, AL West for Casey King, the Central, the Tigers, and in the East, the Orioles. The wild cards, he says Yankees, Royals, Rangers. In the World Series, the Dodgers over the Orioles in 6 games, the opposite of what happened in 1966. Where the Orioles, I think, won in 6 over LA. Koufax retired, and he went on to the Hall of Fame.
James, I know you know Casey a little bit better than I do. Is that a homer pick? Is he a Dodger fan?
Yeah, but I know him, and he knows all the teams.
No, I know he knows. I know he knows baseball. I've listened to him a few times when he's been on. But yeah,
I mean, if you're that good, you can say so. I don't know that feeling anymore or ever, but Yeah, I had him in 5 games though, so I'm wishful thinking probably. By the way, there's 3 new major league managers this year. I mentioned Terry Francona taking a year off from Cleveland, going down south to manage the young Cincinnati Reds, and that's going to be a tough task for him. What's going to be tougher though, the other NL new manager is Clayton McCall. He will be managing the Miami Marlins and the triple or double A team they have.
Yeah.
Yikes. And then the man that has the toughest job maybe in the majors this season is the new White Sox manager, Will Venable. I think he went to Princeton. I might be wrong, but he was a former outfielder with the Padres and other teams.
Mhm.
He was the first base coach, I think, with the Cubs and the Rangers. He was on the staff as a coach with them the last few years, so he has a championship ring. But he has a tough task to turn around the White Sox, who had the worst record ever in modern times at 41 and 121 losses. And I just feel so bad for him, but he's got to somehow turn that team, up from the absolute bottom, it feels like. Some
That
awards.
is going to be a hard job.
Yeah, I was already watching, how he was going to go about it. He was saying the clay sheet,
Cliches.
yeah, he was saying all those things, and it was like, yeah, you need a lot. You need a
Yeah.
lot there. All the cliches are there. Yeah, thank you. Award predictions, MVP, Cy Young, Rookie of the Year for each league. I don't know if you guys have yours.
No, I mean, Rookie of the Year is kind of hard because you just never know. MLB's got that weird rookie clause and stats, but MVP and I mean, honestly, you got to go with Judge. I think he's by far it's his award to lose. I would have put in a sleeper as Royce Lewis, but of course he's going to start the year on the DL.
Oh yeah,
We'll see how long he's on there because
hamstring, right?
yeah, something like that. But it seems like every time he's in, I mean, he's putting up big numbers. So that would have been my pick this year if he would have stayed healthy. But Cy Young for the American League, oh, man, that's tough again. I mean, you got to go with the guy that won it last year, which I can't remember who it was. You said him earlier. But I will say that watch out for the kid in Minnesota. I know this may sound like a homer pick, but Simeon. I'm trying to think. He's got 3 names. But Simeon, he's supposed to be a legit pitcher. So if he gets his game going, he could definitely be in the running for Cy Young. On the NL side, prove me wrong, Ohtani. I think he's going to put up some great numbers. Cy Young, I mean, they got some good young pitchers over there all around. But what I seen from Skeens last year, I think he's going to put up a fight. And I think Ellie Dela Cruz from the Reds, I think he's going to put up a fight for MVP considerations. That kid is phenomenal.
Yeah, that might be the case. So we match up in the National League with Ohtani and Skeens winning MVP and Cy Young. For the Rookie of the Year, sadly, I think it's going to be Roki Sasaki of the Dodgers. For AL MVP, I have Bobby Witt Jr. He was close to winning it last year, but Aaron Judge had
that would be a good one.
With New York. And then for Cy Young, I have Tyreek Skubal from the Tigers. Tyreek Skubal, who won it last year. I think he's going to repeat. Now, Rookie of the Year, I have Christian Campbell. He's a second baseman coming up this year with Boston, and he's going to be much, much needed with the Red Sox. Remember, they made the signing of Alex Bregman. They already had a third baseman.
Yep.
Devers finally moved to DH. and Bregman will be playing third. So there's a need for a second baseman. So they're going to bring him up. And supposedly the Red Sox have 3 high prospects coming up this year that could really help them, boost up the wild card race to getting into a spot. And Christian Campbell's one of those guys. I don't know how much he's comparable to Mookie Betts, but it's almost similar there. And you would hope to have a player similar like Betts. Maybe not the same power, but the hitting will be there for Campbell. So that's my predictions. How about you, Chris?
Yeah, I think it's kind of early to figure it out. I'm sure Ohtani's going to be in the mix, but I think right now it's just way too early.
When you think Corey Seager, if he has a comeback year, you think he has a chance to win AL MVP?
That could be a sneaky
I
one.
don't see why not. That would be a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of because I have the Rangers winning the West, so I got to figure Semien goes off and Seager. I got to figure they have.
Well, wasn't it last year's All-Star game or the year before? Didn't the Rangers have 7 starters in the All-Star game or something like that?
Was it last year at their home ballpark?
I think so. Yeah.
I know in 2023 they end up winning the whole damn thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Chris, I don't know if there's anything else, but maybe we can end it on some final thoughts here.
Yeah, any final thoughts, Big B?
It's each day is getting closer and closer to MLB starting, which brings out a lot of good baseball, college, little league, even softball. I'll throw that in there, but it's always good to fun. First couple months to see where teams are, then it kind of gets a little long there in the middle, but then it always closes out with a banger. So baseball season's a marathon, not a sprint, and we all know that. So have a good day, all.
Thank you, Big B. James.
Yeah, just look out for Coast to Coast programming all around. Yeah, I've been watching a lot of college baseball, and there's all these teams, schools scoring 40, 30 runs a game. Just crazy baseball happening around the country. Like I said, I want to get up to Irvine to watch the USC Trojans play in the Big Ten Conference. Sounds weird to say still.
Hey, it's weird to say Longhorns are in the SEC. So, I mean,
that's taking some time for me too to see or to say, but yeah, keep checking out Coast to Coast again. Chris, you have Between the Ropes coming up.
Yeah, tomorrow we'll talk about what happened this week, road to WrestleMania, and all that fun stuff. So tune in for that.
All right, that's all I got.
And Big B, didn't you have a coach's show Tuesday?
Yeah, we got Ranko's been off for a little bit, but due to health and work, we'll be back this Tuesday, and then April 15th, I believe, I have another Bears huddle with Coach Cody, of the head coach of the indoor St. Paul Bears team for football. So that'll be coming up. He's got some breaking news and some stuff about their home field, their tryouts, and all that fun stuff. So check that out in a couple weeks.
Yes, right. April 15th at 1 o'clock Central.
Yep.
So 11 o'clock your time, James. So
all right.
Tune in for that. We will be back for another episode of On Deck. With that, enjoy opening day this week. Or should I say opening week? And we'll see you guys tomorrow for Between the Ropes. Have a great evening.
Have a good one.